you might notice we're in the car. That's because it's really, really late. I was not intending for us to be out this late. Um, but, we saw the premiere showing because we had a conflict going to see it tomorrow during a matinee. And we went on a shopping trip afterwards, and it took way too long. So this is a knee-jerk reaction to Terminator Genisys. About an hour and a half after we saw it. So it's like 11 o'clock. She needs to get ready for bed soon. No reason we're shooting in the car. Just pulled in home. I'm like, okay, I can set up the camera real fast. We can shoot in the car. Other YouTubers do it. I figure, hey, I can do it too. Except, hey, I have my daughter and she's cute. Anyways, thoughts on the movie. I'll go ahead and run down my thoughts, and then you run down yours without going into spoilers. I know there's a spoiler she really wants to go into. And by the way, the spoiler is in the trailer for the friggin' movie. So yeah. This movie, it starts out in the future, and honestly, that future bit is probably the best stuff in this movie. I like it, even though it's predominantly with Jai Courtney's Kyle Reese, who is really bad in this movie. I'm usually pretty flexible, but God, he is emotionless in this movie, and especially when you're comparing him to Michael Biehn from the original. Oh, he is nowhere as good. But even with that said, I really liked the future stuff in this movie. And then, of course, we see him getting sent back to 1984, and they kind of replay a lot of the steps from Terminator 1. They recreate a lot of stuff shot for shot, which is, I'm not too thrilled with. I mean, if you're just going to recreate it shot for shot, just, play clips from the movie. But whatever. And, sometimes you can't because you have to switch out actors, but sometimes there's pointless recasting. Like they recast the dump truck driver at the very beginning of that movie, and he does the exact same thing here, shot for shot. You could have just played clips from that movie, remastered, and it would have looked exactly the same and fit in a little bit better in the timeline, but whatever. The 1984 stuff is not as good as the future stuff, but again, I'm like, okay, I'm still kind of on board because it's different enough. The T-800 from that timeline gets taken out really fast, but then there's this T-1000 who's going after them, and it's a fun little twist. At this point, it's not as good as the first two Terminators, but I'm having fun with it. And then they go to, it's not quite modern times, it's 2017, and this is where the movie just goes batshit, and there's nothing really memorable past this point. The storyline makes I don't want to say it makes no sense. It makes sense, but what it becomes very simple, and it becomes a series of action scenes. Almost like Mad Max, except imagine Mad Max Fury Road if the action was really unmemorable and kind of boring, and your lead actor was kind of boring. And then you get, obviously, the settings are completely different, but that's kind of the route this movie takes. And it's simple. The story is very simple. But that's only because it makes no sense. It just gives you the barest essentials, but makes no goddamn sense. The timeline is completely messed up. I guess it's been messed up in the Terminator franchise, but makes no goddamn sense. And it's been like almost 5 minutes here. I haven't given you a chance to say anything. Don't go into spoilers, because I know there's spoilers we want to go into, but give your thoughts on the movie. Go ahead.
I don't have anything else.
Well, you just want to go into spoilers, don't you?
No.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say I really didn't like this movie. Oh, it fits comfortably in with the other Terminator sequels, which aren't all that great either. But, 1 and 2 are classics. And then after that, this is quality-wise. And with the other ones, where it's not the worst movies ever made. But, God. Oh, yeah. Not good. It's It's a movie with a ton of action that's completely unmemorable. They don't spend any time with your characters, so you don't really care that much about the characters. Almost all the recastings were downgrades, and there was actually some recastings that didn't need to be recastings. Most obvious being Miles Dyson, because we see Miles Dyson, but it's a brief cameo in 2017, and I'm like, why couldn't that have been Joe Morton? Why did they recast that? And there's another cameo they could have done that I thought would have been awesome. Because what you see, it's a quick scene where you see younger Kyle looking at older Kyle. And younger Kyle says, he looks kind of like you, Dad. And then they could have shown his dad, and his dad could have been Michael Biehn. And that would have been awesome. And I know Michael Biehn and Jai Courtney don't look all that similar. But the guy they got to play his dad and Jai Courtney don't look all that similar either. So, whatever. Watch, I'll probably be wrong. I'll probably look it up and it's Jai Courtney in makeup or something. But I didn't think it looked like him. So, anyways, we want to just dive into spoilers?
Yeah.
Okay. So, not a good movie. Only go see it if you're desperate for a Terminator movie. And like I said, the beginning was good. It just falls apart the more and more you get into it. Alright, so spoilers. Go ahead and go into the spoiler you want to go into. The spoiler that's in the trailer. Okay, go ahead and go into it.
The trailer? I didn't watch any of the trailers.
Yeah.
How's that supposed to know?
Yeah. This is an inappropriate thing to say with you in the car, but this is an expression that either you get it or you don't. And I'm going to go ahead and say the trailers suit this well. The trailers for this movie blow the movie's load. And that's the best way I can describe it. Anyways, go ahead.
Well, they turned my favorite character, what was that person's name again?
Your favorite character, John?
Oh, John.
Yeah.
Oh, they turned my favorite character, John, into the bad Terminator in this movie.
Yeah, and it makes no sense. I mean, I get how he became a Terminator. I do not get his motivations at all. And I guess essentially he just is, he's insane, but now he's super intelligent. And he's gone back in time to create Skynet in 2017 through not an iPad, but a tablet app or, smartphone app called Genisys or Genesis, spelled stupidly. And that's where the style of the movie comes from. And it's not like they explain why it's spelled that way. It's just spelled that way because it's fucking stupid. I shouldn't say that in front of you, but,
I just wanted to now forget.
Yeah. It's late. I'm starting to feel kind of tired too. And yeah, I'm not sure how much longer she has. She's probably going to go goofy early. But, oh my God. Yeah. The ending of the movie, once they get to modern times, it's almost tough to describe the plot because it just becomes gobbledygook. There's J.K. Simmons is in this movie. He's probably the best actor in there outside of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger is awesome in this movie. He really knows how to play the Terminator. He's played it so often. He can do it in his sleep, and he'd be great at it. But J.K. Simmons is probably the best actor outside of that. His character could have been written out so easily. He's a character who, in the past, he encounters the T-1000. So they go to 2017, and now he's considered this kook who's like, no, there's these robots that are killing people. And he's still a cop. It's not completely clear to me if he's a cop with these theories, but they let him on the force investigating it, or it's not clear at all. And
who are you talking about?
The cop. O'Brien. He's the bald guy who saw them in the past and now is like, oh, I know these people, and you look exactly the same from when I saw you before. You remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went time traveling too.
No, he didn't. And then
how did he get there?
He was just older, remember? He was much younger when we saw him in the first time.
Oh.
So much younger, he was played by a different actor. Oh my God. But his character, there's no point to him. The whole point to him, and he has a couple of scenes where he accomplishes nothing. And essentially, the big ending of his character is him helping Kyle and Sarah and Papa, Or Pops.
It's Pops.
Yeah, Pops, who is Terminator's nickname in this movie. He helps him escape on a helicopter. And they're like telling him, okay, now you need to run. And I'm thinking, there's only one way up here. There's a Terminator on the way. Why doesn't he go with them? They just kind of threw him off to the side. And I'm like, okay, how do they know that John won't just kill him? And there's actually some stuff in here I like. I like how Sarah Connor is... They just immediately bring us Terminator 2 Sarah Connor. We get to see her through Terminator 1 and throughout this movie. Not as good as Linda Hamilton, but she's okay. And then instead of it being John who has his Terminator as a father figure, it's Sarah with a Terminator as a father figure, which is a nice, interesting twist. And in many ways, Arnold is a continuation of the Terminator from the second movie, which is kind of cool. You know? Did you notice that?
What are you talking about?
I felt he was kind of a continuation of that character because he was like a father figure except a father. The Terminator. The good Terminator.
Oh.
Pops.
Pops.
Yeah. And I really liked that concept, but they don't. Oh. It drives me nuts when I watch a movie and I'm like, oh, there's so many good ideas here. Why aren't they doing them? Okay, so they have the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, is in this movie for such a short amount of time. And he's a really good actor. And all I can think of, while he has this really short role, is why did they give him this really small role? He could have played Kyle Reese. He doesn't really look like Michael Biehn, but neither does Jai Courtney. And he would have been much better at it. And it would have also been kind of a funny inside joke that we have this guy who's going to be time traveling being played by a former Doctor, the former Doctor Who Doctor. And that'd be a great funny joke. And he would do it so much better. Honestly, another casting choice would probably be better to fit the physical description a little bit better. Because Jai Courtney does look more like Michael Biehn than Matt Smith. But neither of them are really close. But acting-wise, he would have been so much better. Oh. Jai Courtney. The only movie where I was satisfied with his performance was Jack Reacher, where he plays a bad guy, so being emotionless works. You haven't really said too much this one. What do you want to add?
I want to add that I thought this one was okay, and I'm glad that Pops was alive at the end.
Yeah, Terminator survived. You got upgraded to a T-1000, which was craziness.
He got upgraded again.
Yeah. Well, the rumor is they want to do a new trilogy of Terminator movies. Oh. I'm thinking they probably won't. If the theater tonight that we were in was indicative of how well this movie's going to do, I don't think we're going to get a trilogy. I think this franchise is going to lapse and go to James Cameron. There was 5 people in there with us?
No.
Yeah, it was a small theater. I actually went there early because I was like, oh, we're going to premiere. It's going to be full. It was not full. I don't think this movie's going to do well. It's not good. I don't think there's going to be a direct sequel of this. James Cameron said he'd be interested. I heard somewhere he said he'd be interested in doing another one. I would like to see that, if for no other reason than to get him away from doing an Avatar movie for a little bit. But that's really the only way I'm really going to be pumped for a Terminator movie. I guess they could get someone who's really talented. Neil Blomkamp's not thrilling me recently, but if he did one, I'd probably be interested. I'm trying to think of a modern sci-fi guy that could really take over the franchise. I'm not coming up with anything, though. Just, maybe just get a generic good director in there. Yeah. Bad movie. Probably fits fairly comfortably with the other Terminator sequels, though. That's really my final thoughts. You have any final thoughts?
I didn't know if I already said this,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought it was okay.
You thought it was an okay movie?
Yeah.
Well, you should have said that before we got into spoilers.
I babe.
Yeah, well, it was okay. Okay, well, ranking the movies so far this year, this is definitely on the bottom of my list. How about you? Do you want me to remind you what the movies are again?
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking at... Well, I'll just name off my list. Number 1, Mad Max Fury Road. Number 2, Inside Out. Number 3, Avengers 2. Number 4, Jurassic World, I think.
That's the last thing on your list.
And then number 5 is this one.
You put a Jurassic World on almost the bottom of the list.
Yeah, well, I will say there is a sizable gap between Jurassic World and this. Jurassic World's a lot better than this. That was a lot more entertaining. This movie really drags once you get into the modern times. Yeah.
Well, number 1, Inside Out.
Yeah.
Number 2, Avengers. Is it Age of Ultron?
Yeah. Or Avengers 2.
Well, I was going to say Avengers, Age of Ultron.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say.
All right, number 3.
Number 3.
Keep in mind, the closer you get, the more your face is going to get blacked out by the light.
What did you say?
The more closer you get, the more you're going to get like Two-Face with the light. Just like...
I mean, which is the other movies?
Well, you haven't named off Mad Max or Jurassic World or Terminator.
Jurassic World, Terminator, and Mad Max.
Oh, you like this more than Mad Max?
Yep.
Blasphemy. All right, Mad Max is not hard R, but I guess you shouldn't take kids to see it because they aren't going to be too thrilled with it.
Yeah, I'm not too thrilled with that.
All right. Well, that's the end of this video. Don't really have much to say. It's really late. Gotta carry in groceries. Yay.
And I also need a cat nap or something.
Yeah, she needs to get to bed. As soon as we walk in, we're going to go to bed.
Yeah, we need a cat nap or something.
Yeah. See you next time. What's the next one? Minions. Minions is the next movie.
Yeah.
She's like leaving already. Later. As a lot of you guys have known, about a month or so ago, my regular editing machine died out, and I've been trying to think of a way to get my old computer back up to snuff so I can edit videos together for you guys. And every time, pretty much life gets in the way every time. You know, every time it seems like I'll get a little bit of money so I can invest in it. Something happens and that money's gone, and this is just recurring over and over again now. So what I'm going to do is ask you guys to help me out. If you go to my Kickstarter page, which I will have in the description below, you will be able to help me out. If each of one of you guys donates exactly $1, I will hit more than 2 times my what I'm asking for. And pretty much what I'm asking for is just parts to upgrade my computer. I can upgrade a computer just fine. I just need the money for parts. And once that happens, I can make videos for you guys a hell of a lot faster. Right now, it's really slow and rather painful for me to put together videos. If you guys donate, what will happen is there's several prizes. The most basic being you can get a commentary track with me and my daughter just yakking while we watch Jurassic Park. If you like stuff like that, we can make more of them, of course. Oh, and the other thing is you can, if you donate more and more, what you get is pretty much control of the show. Not really what I'll say, but what I'll do. You get your credit, you get your name in the credits. You can get your name before I even start the show, like right at the beginning. You can request exactly what I review. You can even get a little advertisement spot for yourself right at the beginning of my show. I'm getting more and more viewers, so that little advertising spot, that'll be valuable. So please, please, please go to my Kickstarter page and help me get my computer set up so I can get more content to you guys faster.